Okay, here's my NFL takes for week 8. So, start out with our team, the Dolphins. The Dolphins found a way to lose at home 28-27 to Arizona yesterday. I have to say, I'm not surprised. Um, Tua came back and the offense looked okay. And they managed to score more than 10 points, which is basically what they had been doing while he was gone. So that's good for them. Um, but yeah, I knew like the way that game was going. I was watching it going, all right, how are the Dolphins going to find the Dolphins are going to figure out a way to lose this game. How are they going to do it? And watching the game and when, Tua dropped like two snaps, he hasn't been there for a month, so some of it's understandable, but some of it isn't. Like he drops snaps all the time even when he's been playing every week. But so as soon as the Dolphins had the shotgun snap where they snapped it to it went through his hands and out the back of the end zone for a safety, I was like, okay, yeah, they're gonna lose this game. Like they're gonna figure this out, and of course they did. Couldn't do anything in the fourth quarter to score any points, and Arizona goes down the field right at the end and kicks a field goal and wins the game. And it's one of those things. God, I just saw it coming, and but I don't understand. I don't understand the Dolphins supporters. I don't get like at a certain point, I just don't get what we're cheering for. So Tua, on one of the drives, like it was a third down, they needed a first down. He runs 10 yards for the first down, slides down, whatever, and everyone's cheering. Everybody's happy for him. They're chanting his name, and I'm just like, okay, the dude ran down the field and slid. Like he's a professional athlete. Like this that kind of stuff is kind of expected, and it's like what are we cheering for? What exactly, like what did this guy do that's so amazing? What are we so happy about? What, that we continue to lose? Like what, I mean, is it all the winning that Tua has done that I've forgotten about? Like I don't understand. Like he's 1-12 in his last 13 games against winning teams. Like what what am I missing out on? And I think that to me, the Dolphins offense, like I would diagnose it like this: the Dolphins offense looks like they know they have an injury prone quarterback and they're scared to death of him getting hurt again. They didn't throw down the ball down the field at all. They hit one like 20 or 30 yard pass to Tyreek Hill. Everything else was under 10 yards and get rid of the ball in 2 seconds. And it's like, you can't play football this way. Like this is, again, this goes back to this is why this guy is not worth drafting. Like, he's an average quarterback. I know, that he's got a lot of fans and he's a great kid, and I understand that. I love the guy, as a human being. But as a quarterback, like he's got to go. Like I just don't know what we're after here. And so the Dolphins have no chance to win anything playing this way. And we can go up to Buffalo next weekend and get our ass kicked like we always do to Buffalo, because we're not beating that team. We're not beating Buffalo anymore because they figured out exactly what the Dolphins do on offense. And so the Dolphins have upgraded. The Dolphins have upgraded from a slingshot to a pop gun. That's what I would say. Like this offense is a joke. So you know, but the it is interesting though. I thought this season would really suck and the Dolphins would be bad and it would just be painful to watch. But it's actually kind of entertaining just because of the reaction of everyone else every time Tua does or doesn't do anything. And so I think it's unbelievable. Like if this were another city like Philadelphia or New York or Boston or Chicago, there is no way that the fans would be thrilled to have Tua back. There's just no way. Like, the Dolphin fans are so starved for anything that we're cheering for a guy who's really not going to win any more games than anybody else would. So, we can keep rolling with it if we want to, but you know, the only thing I'm rooting for is the Dolphins need to tear this down and rebuild it, and the only way to do that is for them to keep losing games. Now it looks like they're going to lose games anyway. I don't really have to root for them to lose, but you know, um, my I mean, my other My other thing from yesterday that I just, oh my god, it was so much fun, is watching the Patriots beat the Jets. I mean, the Jets are just, it's an amazing gift the Jets have given us, the gift that keeps on giving, man. They are tremendously bad, and it's just a joke that anybody thought this Jets team was going to win the division. The Buffalo already has a 3.5 game lead. We're not even into November yet. And yeah, I get a kick out of it. The Jets are, let's go through all the things that are wrong with the Jets. They're poorly coached. They can't block anybody. Now they can't stop people when they need to stop people, right? They can't run the ball. And they're giving up game-winning drives to Jacoby Brissett. But other than that, everything's fine. Everything's fine. And it just, the idea that the Jets are going to blame Aaron Rodgers for this is the funniest thing I've ever heard. First of all, Aaron Rodgers, not that good anymore, but we all kind of knew that. And secondly, this is not all his fault. You guys can't do anything. You're not helping him out. You can't block. He's getting the crap beaten out of him every week. He's not playing great, but nobody else is doing anything great either. The offense is a mess. They used all 3 of their timeouts in the first quarter yesterday. They used a timeout when they were trying to run a 2-point conversion play. It's a disaster. So stop blaming Aaron Rodgers. This is not a symptom of Aaron Rodgers. This is the Jets are a disaster. This is your own fault. You did this to yourselves. I don't want to hear about, if Aaron Rodgers would do this and Aaron Rodgers would do that. Give me a break. The only reason you're scoring 20 points in some of these games is because of him. Without him, you'd be useless. So it's insane to me. They already fired their coach. They traded for Devontae Adams. I don't know what the move is, but good luck with that. And as a Dolphins fan, first of all, Jets, what the hell, man? I want the Dolphins to have a higher draft pick. So what are the Jets doing losing more games than we are? This is ridiculous. Get your shit together, Jets, and get out of the way. The Dolphins should have a better draft pick than you. We are not a good team at all. So, yeah, I'm a little annoyed at that, but the instant comedy of the Jets is just, it's special. It's really special. The Hail Mary in the Washington-Chicago game. This game was this was mostly a bad football game for about 3.5 quarters of it, but then all of a sudden it turned into something else. So neither team played well, especially offensively. Neither quarterback was good. Washington is clearly the better coach team, and they had the lead 12-0 for most of the game. They just kicked 4 field goals. And then Chicago get themselves back into it with a great run by DeAndre Swift. But the Bears tried this play where they're on the goal line and they put an offensive lineman in at the fullback position, and they tried to hand the ball off to the offensive lineman to try to run into the end zone. And of course he doesn't get the snap, or he doesn't get the handoff and fumbles it, and Washington picks it up. And it's just, oh my God, it was just, what is this? What is going on here? And so, the game continued. Somehow the game continued, and Chicago managed to take the lead right at the end. And then Washington comes down, tries to throw they go to throw a Hail Mary. Jaden Daniels runs around for 12 or 13 seconds before he throws it. Ball gets tipped in the air, and Washington catches it in the back of the end zone. And it just, oh my God, I yelled and screamed. Everybody else is going nuts. The fans are going crazy. It was just absolutely insane. Washington deserved to win the game based on how they played, but for Chicago, it's just Chicago to give up a Hail Mary like that. It's just, oh my God. It's so disappointing. Amazing. But yeah, it was, that was a crazy play. I really, enjoyed it. And the outlook, Washington, I think is going places. They don't have, as good a defense as Chicago does, but they played really well in this game. And Chicago's got more offensive talent, but Washington's still better than them. I think the coaching staff on Washington is doing a hell of a job. And I think Washington, not only could Washington get in the playoffs, they could win the division and they could win a home playoff game. I really like them. Let's see what else. The Detroit Lions are, to me, the Detroit Lions are playing the best team. They're playing the best football in the league right now. you can say Kansas City's the best team if you want to, but I'm telling you, nobody's playing better than Detroit right now. And if you're not ready against them, they will embarrass you. They embarrass the Cowboys, they embarrass the Titans. It'll be interesting to see what happens when they play Green Bay coming up, but to me, I thought the Lions would go to the Super Bowl before the season, and I'm more confident in that now than any other team in the NFC, and that is for damn sure. So we'll see what happens with the injuries, but Lions are going to be tough to beat, man. I just don't. I don't think there are a lot of defenses in especially in the NFC that are going to slow them down. So yeah. And then, Kansas City, look, Kansas City wins another tough game. And this is, I mean, I don't want to talk too much about Kansas City beat the Raiders, which is, okay, they beat the Raiders, no big deal. And do they look vulnerable? Absolutely. But I mean, I'm looking at the teams in the AFC right now, and it's just like, okay, you're telling me some of these other teams are going to beat Kansas City? Like Baltimore, I don't think Baltimore's defense is great. I don't think their offensive line's great. I just, you've got to have guys who can make it difficult for Mahomes, and they just don't have it on defense. And if that's the case, then if it's a close game with Kansas City, they're just going to beat you. They just are. And I don't trust Baltimore to beat them. I think Houston is still a year away. I like Houston, but I don't think they're ready. I think they still need another draft. They still need more talent to me to be competitive with them. And what I would say about Buffalo is I said before the season, I do not think Buffalo is going to the Super Bowl. But what I will say is I think Buffalo is playing the right way. Buffalo is running the ball. They're trying to play a little bit style that's more conducive to winning in the playoffs, especially in Buffalo when it's cold. And I like the way that they're going. But I think their defense is too small, and I think you can run the ball on them. And if Kansas City plays them and you can run the ball on them, and like Baltimore showed, I mean, they ran the ball all over Buffalo. So I think that I think is the thing that's probably going to hold them back. But let's see where Buffalo is in 6 to 8 weeks, because they continue to get better. I think they're finally playing the right way if they want to beat them. But I still don't buy it. I still don't buy it.